first of all, I want to. Well, you already told a little bit about it. How did you feel about the show today?
Well, I'm a perfectionist. I want to be able to. One of my faults is that I don't. If something goes south, if it doesn't sound right, I have a tendency to not concentrate. It's just like I'm not hearing, and as soon as I go that, then so I have to really concentrate to get in the zone. And the great big rooms like that and stuff, and I can't hear the bass. I can't figure out, but you just give it your all. Everybody liked it, and I'm fine. For me, it's just like I can't hear where the bass is, So does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't hear. So a couple of times there, the band, but you don't want to put this in the interview. You want me to lie to you? You don't want me to lie. How'd you go with the show? We kicked ass. It was wonderful. We kicked ass. Yeah.
I have one slight remark though.
All right.
You didn't play. I think you only played one song from your latest album. And I thought that was a pity.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why was that? Because you didn't get to rehearse with the band?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And so things, and then plus the sound. So I'm being honest with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But this happens, and that's showbiz.
Yeah.
You play places and everything comes together. You play other for certain particular reasons. So the bass is telling you what key you're singing in. It tells you what the changes are and stuff. If you can't hear that, you don't know where the form is going.
Yeah.
And so, the form of the song.
Then
you just sing and hope everybody and everything is there. So you want to know, since you're asking, I'm telling you, on stage it sounded like this. You could kind of, it sounded, just everything was just blended in and counseling everything out. We had a good sound check, and then it just kind of, and that's sound. The sound check was just with the monitors, and then once the mains came in, it washed things out. And so some songs went good, some songs didn't. No rehearsal. You didn't. We're driving from here to France. Yeah, we drove 6 hours after a concert in Bordeaux, and then from Bordeaux to Paris, and then Paris to here. No chance at all to get any rehearsal. And so they wanted to keep it, Well, I want to come here and play my new record is completely original. So not one original song.
Okay, well, let's talk a bit about the album.
So then. I don't mean to be a buzzkill,
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. We'll talk about the album. Okay.
Let's do it.
It's called The Beautiful Lowdown.
Yes.
Can you explain the title?
Well, here's how it came about. I do a little gag, I'll call it, when I'm with my own band, and we do a song by Johnny Guitar Watson. It's called Strung Out. And for my own part of the show, I break it down. It's a slow blues. It's got great chord changes in it. And I break the band down and I say, hey, everybody, do you want to hear the guitar player play some blues? Yay, they say. And I go, do you want to hear him play the low down, put it on the front burner, turn it up to high until put it back and let it simmer kind of blues? Yay. Then I look at him and I go, I want you to play the low down rotten blues, and I want you to make it pretty for me. But make it pretty. Make it low down and rotten back alley blues, but make it beautiful. Play me the beautiful low down. And as soon as I said that, I went, there's the name of the record. Yeah. And I'd already recorded the record.
Okay.
So that's how it came. I was on stage and I went. So then I typed in, they want to know, what are you going to call the record? The record was recorded and mixed. So what are you going to call it? And Bruce Iglar from Alligator Records is going, what are you going to call this? And I wrote back, the beautiful lowdown, and I shot for sure. I thought he's not going to go for this, and he goes, great. And he thought of the record, the cover of it. That's his thing. And everything went easily with Alligator. It was just like, yeah, we love it. Yeah, here, what do you think of this? And I said, yeah, you know, this flower striking through the beautiful lowdown from the, you know, cement, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's it. And you know, blues and soul and life is a lot of things. And one of the things is everything isn't nice in flowers, and everything isn't hunky-dory, you know.
No, it's not.
And so there is beauty even in, you know, I'm not saying trouble and sadness and stuff. It's just I want to get in it and roll around in it.
Yeah.
You're living life on life's terms, you know.
Yeah. But that's your character, what you think.
That's
about
it.
things.
That's what I think. So
That's
the
how
beautiful
we live life.
lowdown. So I want you to play the lowdown rotten, but make it beautiful. And in a sense, man, when you're listening to, you know, lowdown blues by Little Walter, you know, or Muddy Waters, or Robert Johnson, or Skip James, or you know, even the more obscure, you know, really obscure people.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. There's an energy that's coming there. Those great recordings, you know. You know.
Yeah. You put a lot of effort in the album, in making the album,
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember talking. Did we talk in Amsterdam?
No.
No. Okay,
It's
never
been
mind.
4 years since we
No.
talked.
Okay.
Time
Alright.
flies. Anyway.
All right. So,
You put a lot of effort in it.
yes, I always do.
Yeah.
But this one more.
Yeah.
The two producers, Marla McLean and Tony Bronigal. Tony is a drummer,
Yeah, I know Tony.
and they kind of let me do my thing. One reason was they didn't really have a choice because we had they're on the road. Marla McLean is doing this. Tony's on the road with somebody. I'm on the road, and so you know, I ended up producing the record.
Yeah.
And Tony's not there, and Marla's not there,
Yeah.
and I'm in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah.
It's going to be not cost effective to fly to LA and to hire these LA guys and do this and this, which I'd done before. So I just hired the horn section that's in, and I wrote the horn parts.
Okay.
How do I write? I can't read music, but I can arrange. I know how to arrange and piece things together. I can hear songs in my head, but I
Yeah.
need you to help me do it. And so I sang the horn parts to David Mills, who wrote them out.
Yeah.
And then he takes them and voices them or arranges it.
Yeah.
Then he brings it back to me and he plays it on the piano. I say, that chord's wrong. That sounds, you know, he'd do something like, well, I thought I'd make it, nah, let's make it this way, you know. So we just work it out. So all the horns, everything. The reggae tune
Yeah.
is written by me and a guy that's played with everybody, from the Wailers to the Heptones to Burning Spear,
Yeah.
and that's Larry Fulcher. And Larry Fulcher lives in Houston. He's in the Phantom Band, you know. But the Phantom Band they're an LA studio musicians.
Okay.
And you know who Mike Finnegan is?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, Mike Finnegan's on Jimi Hendrix records. He's also on Peter Frampton records, Paul Simon records, Bonnie Raitt records, on and on and on. There's someone that should come here. You know,
Yeah.
he's also one of the best blue-eyed soul singers out there.
Okay.
He's one of my heroes, and I can't, you know. So I got with him, and we wrote "Walk a Mile in My Blues," and the music of it.
Yeah.
And the reggae tune, Larry Fulcher and I wrote that. And my guitar player, V. Ostotson, who's a good songwriter, he contributed, but he contributed by coming over and I sang the melody, and he goes, well, this is what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. So this gets better, though. I finished the song, and Larry Fulcher goes, my wife says it needs a dance hall rap. I go, what's that? He goes, it's straight Jamaican. and it's the history of Jamaica dance hall. And there's this guy we should have, so he gets a hold of the Ziggy Marley camp, and they suggested this guy named Tippa Lee. And Tippa is the real deal.
Okay.
I mean, I'm talking to him on the phone, and so I go, so what are you talking about? It's dance hall. They like rap over the top, but it's not rapping. They call it a toast. It's like there's another word that it's not like they're the ones that came up with the idea way back when. Because in Jamaica they have sound systems, and this guy Tippa Lee grew up. His dad was a sound system guy. So they take records and they peel off do you know about this stuff? They take the 45s and they rip off the labels so you can't see who's doing what. Well, that's where Tippa comes from, and I knew nothing about him. So Ziggy Marley's camp, who I don't know, tells Larry there's this guy named Tippa Lee, and Tippa Lee wants a couple of $1,000. I go, I can't afford that. So I'll get back to you. And Larry calls back and goes, he'll do it for $500. Okay, but I don't have $500, so I call up a friend of mine who's a doctor. He goes, I'll give you $500. I said, I'll pay you right back. Then I call up the guy at the studio and I said, do you have $500? And I'll pay you back. And he goes, okay, I'll pay Tippa Lee. He's in LA, I'm in Portland. And so Tippa Lee put that rap that's on, and it took it to another level.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the first reggae tune I've ever written.
Yeah.
And I nailed it. Yeah, and I nailed it.
Yeah.
We nailed it.
It is reggae.
Yeah, and it's one drop.
Yeah.
And I love Jamaican music. Now, it's surprising, but Jamaican music is completely heavily influenced by American rhythm and blues. And so everything that's on The Beautiful Lowdown is rhythm and blues. I'm really into the history, so I've never wanted to do reggae, but I love it. I don't have the pathos, the accent, and the whatever. I think you need it. And then it was kind of like, if Sting can do it, I can do it. And then I was going, nah, man. And then Tippa Lee's, and I listened to all these soul singers out of Jamaica, and I went for it.
Yeah.
That's my favorite song on the record.
Okay. Yeah.
That and Walk a Mile.
Yeah.
And I Know a Good Thing. And I got a few other ones. And all of them. But we nailed that. And adding Tippa Lee to that song made it. So you could tell when you're saying I put a lot of effort, the entire thing is, usually I have a bunch of songs and I come in and you're relying on the two producers and the musicians and stuff. But this here was, it's my brainchild.
Yeah.
So.
And then there are the lyrics.
The lyrics.
Yeah, they are quite candid and honest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which ones?
Well, I had Hard to Feel, The Same About Love.
Yes.
Marley, My Blues.
Brown, I'm impressed.
Nothing in particular. That's about, I think, more.
Nothing in particular and a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I came up with that hook, and I wrote the song with a friend of mine named Dave Duncan, and he wrote 20 Years of B.B. King with me. And he also wrote Hard to Feel the Same. And Hard to Feel the Same was a different tune 4 years ago, and I dug it back up, and we redid it and made it. And then it became kind of a Motown song.
Yeah.
Which I wanted, but I didn't think. And then when I started hearing, it's like, I just let it do its thing. I don't plan like I'm gonna make, I did plan the reggae song. I don't usually know where the song's gonna take me. And so that turned into, I just thought, God, this is kind of like a Motown tune. And then we just started adding Motown elements, like a glockenspiel, the Motown, Benny Benjamin. Benny Benjamin is the drummer. Baby, baby, where did I lay? He's the drummer and all that stuff. So, Tony, play a Motown march. So, That's it. And then we just start creating and just start building, and you just let the song take its where it goes naturally. So now you were talking about lyrics, and then I sit down and you write a little movie, and I'm trying. That's Kathy. That's what I want to be as a songwriter. That's what I want to be, a good songwriter.
Did you write the lyrics before the music, or was it just something?
The lyrics and the changes were before.
Then
we rechanged them and rewrote them. Then we rewrite them and rewrite them. The music was just me and a guitar player. And then it takes form. Without the guitar, you don't have the. Once we started, I feel this. Then Larry Fulcher plays his thing. Finnegan does his thing. I'm telling them what I want. I'm looking for this like this. You erase stuff. You add a little bit. Basically, it's you take stuff out. And then it's like, you know what? I hear let's make it a Motown song. And then, I don't know if you notice or not, but you don't hear tenor saxophones on a lot of, when you hear a solo in a Supremes or a Marvin Gaye or that, it's always a baritone sax. Mostly it's baritone saxophone. Yeah. You don't hear tenor saxophone. It's kind of interesting. Okay.
Then I had a question about your voice, because on the record, I think it has a bit of a crooning. I call it a crooning soul sound,
right?
Like Solomon Burke.
Other people say that too.
Yeah.
Huh.
Even my husband said that, and he's.
I sound like Solomon Burke, kinda.
Yeah.
That's not no. Who the hell would be offended? He's a great singer.
Yeah, because it's I don't know how to explain it in English. It's lower in pitch.
Huh.
I don't know. Do you agree or?
Well, when I sing the song live, it's not in any different key.
Yeah. Okay.
What a small world. Imagine running into you. Seems like only yesterday when we were loving. Love was, I was thinking about us the other day. Oh, and all the tears we cried. That's how I sound,
Yeah, still, yeah.
So I want to know what you think I'm trying for something else in the studio?
No.
Very interesting.
Yeah, maybe it's the pitch, or I don't know.
Right.
The way you sing.
The key of the song, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
What song are we talking about in particular?
Well, not really a song in particular. It was an overall sound. I think it was. Let me check. Not Walk a Mile in My Blues, but check the album. I think it is. I Know a Good Thing.
Yeah, that right there is.
I think that's when it started. I started to hear it.
Right. I'm singing. This has nothing but. I know a good thing, baby. When she come my way. When she come my way. When she come my way. Now I've done a lot of living. I've been high, I've been low. There ain't too much coming down the line I ain't never seen before. The first time that I saw her, just as pretty as you please, I wasn't looking for love. Love was looking for me. I know a good thing, baby.
Yeah, that is a good thing, baby. You go along down.
Yeah, are you talking about the melody? And that's what. Yeah.
I'm not technical in music. Sorry.
Right. You try and come up with a memorable melody. That's it. That is the key. And a lot of new days blues people that I see or playing this, they miss the point. They have the same riffs over and over and over again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, and they sing the blues, and they have this one. If they were to sing 4 different songs, they'd all sound the same because they have the same melody in every one of them. You got to write melodies all the way. Just History 101 says that. The Beatles are a great. Harold Arlen, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Great songs have melodies that stick in your head. And I don't know if I'm doing it, but if you listen to it, every song has got a melody. And when you listen to Muddy Waters, how he sings a particular thing, he's in his vibe, and he has his, I don't want you to be your slave. That's the melody. And it isn't, that's the melody. I take it seriously. And if there's one blues song after another, and you start hearing people, they don't pay attention to the exact melody that he's singing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but it's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
But I love hearing about it.
That was a kind of a bad example, but... Let me put it this way. I hear a lot of people do Aretha Franklin tunes, and they don't do the melodies. I hear people do a Robert Johnson tune, and they're not singing the same notes he's singing. If I had a cell phone right now, there's a great version of Johnny Shines doing Sweet Home Chicago. That's how it should be sung.
Yeah.
There's a curtain behind him, he's wearing a little tie, and he's playing. And he goes, baby, don't you wanna go? He sings this melody, and that's what, Robert, that's the melody. And everybody's like, come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Back to the same old, that is not the melody, Does that make sense? The problem, and these people are singing music from the pyramids, man. They're singing quarter tones and stuff. Yeah. I suggest everybody out there to find Johnny Shines doing Sweet Home Chicago, because that's the real melody.
Okay. You received 3 Blues Music Awards for the record?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very nice.
At the time you were still recovering from your surgery.
Yes.
I guess you were a bit bummed that you couldn't make it.
Yeah. Yes, I was. But you want to know something? I was... I wanted to go, and it wouldn't be right because not only am I recovering, but we have a online... I have health insurance, but the health insurance is not going to cover it because of the type of health insurance I have and just how much American medicine is. So it's a few $100,000. And so we had up a GoFundMe. And the GoFundMe, if I would have gone to those awards, that would have, I think it would be a discredit. Like, hey, everybody, thanks for sending me money. I'm going to get on a plane, spend money, and go buy a hotel in Memphis and go to the award ceremony. And that would be, I think it would be disrespectful to the people paying. And that's really the reason.
It's not that you...
I could have went, but you don't do that, man. I'm asking for help here, and I'm not going to spend the money on flight tickets and hotel rooms and gather in the... that'd be cheap. That'd be a low shot.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Okay.
And it was, but that's part of the sacrifice. It's like, because fans and people in music and people just, you guys, sorry, Mr. Microphone. That is, you're paying my rent.
Yeah.
And I have been in trouble before. And people come up and send me, God, man, if one person sent me $3,000. How do you say thank you? What do you do? Just play music. I owe the universe. I mean, people throwing out so much love. It's like, it's embarrassing. It's hard to take. It's better to give and receive. And you want to know why? Because you receive and whatever. Then if you're just some sort of sociopath, me, it's, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, I'd rather turn somebody on to something like this, taking in. It's embarrassing. I don't want to owe anybody anything.
No, but it's...
You want to cover it. But people have totally said, music has saved me. I could get choked up. It is paid my rent, people have paid my hospital bills. You know, we're working it out. You know, my sister's really good at working it out how to get it less expensive. But, you know, we're talking like $100,000. You know, I'm still going to be paying. I'm still paying for my liver transplant. You know, hospital, it's expensive.
Yeah.
You know.
I guess we don't know over in Europe how lucky we are.
It is. Well, you know, and the attitude over here is different there. See, in America, it's like, you know, I'll work for my living. If you, then it's every man for himself kind of thing. Yet that's how our roads are built. That's why there's all this stuff. But they call socialism, you know. They don't want somebody sucking off the tit of the government. That's it. Not getting a free ride. I want more. No taxes. No this. No that. So.
Yeah, we could talk a lot about politics.
Yeah. Well, anyhow, the health issue, there's enough money and enough for people to go around. But see, it's taking money from the wealthy.
Yeah.
And the wealthy don't want to give up their money.
You also said that your life has changed now because of your latest surgery and the bypass surgery. It's a whole new world, you said. I read somewhere.
Oh, it's a new world in terms of eating, health,
living.
I'm not one of the go to the gym a lot kind of person, and now I am. I have to be. If you'll lose it if you don't use it. And I've never kind of been that. I get involved in the gym, I go for a while, and then I go out on the road, and then I don't get motivated when I get off the road to go back to the gym. And then there's a milkshake over there. I love milkshakes. And then there's this and that, and I'm a sugar addict. And now that I've had a heart attack, and now that I know how the heart works, I've been going to heart classes right there, volunteer. So I know a lot about, and then just processed food. So it's hard to be on the road as a musician and not eat processed food.
Yeah.
So now I'm doing almonds. You know, I am diabetic. So see, I'm diabetic with a quadruple bypass surgery. I can't eat nothing. You know. And if it is something, I can't have that root beer float. You ever have a root beer float? Do you know what that is?
I know what root beer is.
Yeah, root beer. And then with ice cream in it.
Okay.
Root beer float. Yeah. Really? She's going like this. Wow. They've never heard of a root beer float here. Oh, come on. Really? You've never heard of a root beer float?
When you explain it, I know what it looks like. Or it's a sugar bomb.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't eating them every day or having one every day, but I would like one right now, yeah. I can't have any, you can't eat a lot of barbecue, you can't eat a lot of this, you can't have greasy, funky food. Yeah, now over here in Belgium and France and this and that, the food is natural. It's a lot of fresh food.
Yeah.
You guys shop every day, am I right? Like it's fresh, it's just like, there's, you know, if you lose weight over here, you could eat over here, but it doesn't. In America, see, it's all processed food, corporate process, tampered with food.
Yeah.
And so that is what I mean. My life has changed in terms of health. I've got to be healthy.
But that's a good thing.
Yep. I'm trying to lose another 30 pounds.
30 pounds?
Yeah. I was 250, 60 pounds. So I gotta I've lost 30, I got another 30 to go. I weigh 220.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so my life has changed. And I don't like going to the gym. You got to get up and go to the gym.
Yeah, you could go for walks.
Yeah, I do that. So, more than I've ever done it. I do it every day now.
Yeah.
And I have a nice lady in my life. It's like, get up and go take your walk. Okay, go do your walk now. Go do your walk now. It's like, okay, I will. So it's health.
Yeah.
You know.
It's life.
Yeah. Well, if you don't, I wouldn't be able to do what I do.
Yeah, that's right.
If I just sit around, I'm not going to. You know, I have a laundry list of health things that have happened to me that were life-threatening, and somehow I bounce back. I gotta change. Now I gotta change how I eat, and I didn't get that. I'm 63, so it was just sooner or later you get a heart attack. I got a liver. You know, I did drugs when I was a kid. I got hepatitis. It gave me cancer. And so I got a liver transplant. That changed my life too. But you know where that changed? It's just like things are so, it makes you look at life. They told me I had 6 months to live. And that changes your life. Now it's not so, I mean, everything is kind of meaningless. It isn't meaningless. It's just like politics. Things become, they're arguing about that, and what are they going to get out of it? It's kind of, life is finite. There's better things to do. Terrorism. What are these guys going to get out of this? What is it that they're going to get? Nothing. And if they got what they wanted, you know, it's not going to change anything. So, you know, it's changing how our lives look and how whatever, but it's just like, and so what is it you want? They can't even tell you what to. We just want you to believe in our God, not the. I'm not going to get politics, but it's just like, it's meaningless. It's not going to do anything, right? The true answer is love. That's it.
Yeah.
There's enough for everybody, and
some,
you know.
Yeah, some people don't think someone else deserves love.
Right. I don't like that person, you know. I know. Yeah. You've got to have empathy for your. So see, this is a waste of time. We should be talking music.
Yeah, well.
Okay, on to the. Am I too chatty here?
No, but I didn't have any more questions about music anyway, so.
Keep going.
Okay, once some more. I can ask you some more about specific songs.
Sure.
On the album,
Yeah.
if you want. Walk a Mile in My Blues.
Yes, that's autobiographical.
Yeah. Did the lyrics come out of a frustration kind of thing?
No, it's. I'll tell you how. It's very simple. A friend of mine, Dave Duncan, says we should write a song called "Walk a Mile in My Blues," and I said, "Oh, that's got to be taken." I mean, it's just, you know, walk a mile in my shoes until, you know, the old, until. And I said, I like that, but somebody, I'm sure, has taken it. So I got on the internet and I looked in, and sure enough, there were 6 or 7 songs already with the title, Walk a Mile in My Blues.
Okay.
But the thing was they all stunk. And none of them were blues songs, and none of them even said the hook. The hook is the title, right?
Yeah.
None of them said the hook. And I was like, so let's write this. And so you can't, you know, what it is like, from my perspective, being on the road, you can't imagine this here life and all the things I went through. I've been knocked down so many times. Hard times ain't nothing new. I've been cut from stem to stern, sewed back up again. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, hey, man, until you complain or until you bitch about something, step in my shoes.
Yeah.
So that's it, you know. And the lyrics are, you know, I like this one. I lost my brother to the needle, lost my wife to her best friend.
That's another one.
Yeah, get it? She's got her third. No. So. I was gonna say lost my wife to too much gin, you know, and then as a joke I said lost my wife to her best friend, and we went, yeah, keep it, you know. So I've been on the road for years, you know. I've been, you know, hold my head, because crying won't do me any good. I ain't asking for nothing. Hell, I wouldn't even if I could. Oh, you'll never know. So that's it. It's just a very simple. It won an award, and it's actually making me money.
That's good.
Yeah. So it seems to be very popular.
Yeah. And then there's an optimistic song, but because I think you are an optimistic person.
Oh, yes.
Nothing in particular.
Nothing in particular, and a little bit of everything. That's I thought I was the only one with that title, but it turns out there's a country western guy who had that, and his was called Nothing in Particular, and mine was Nothing. But we went to hell with it. I'm going to write it anyhow, and so David Duncan came up with the concept of this. Is how do we start this out? You know, nothing in particular, and I started saying. We wrote it together, and I started saying he took it from a point of view of three different. We took it from a point, but his first one was basically getting arrested, and the judge looks at you and says, "So what are you arresting me for?" Nothing in particular, and a little bit of everything. And then mine was like, mine was baby. Like I finally have somebody to love, and this woman's finally found me, and you know, I don't know what it is about you that I like, but it's really nothing in particular and a little bit of everything, you know. So we were just coming up with three different concepts. And then of course the bridge is just like the sun's gonna shine someday, and you know, and everything's gonna be okay. It is very optimistic.
Yeah.
So
That's how you really feel?
right. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks a lot for the interview.
Are they kicking us out? No, you can
No,
ask
they're
me.
not kicking us out.
All right.
No, I could talk to you all night, but we're not gonna keep you.
No, I'm fine.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. That's it? It's done? You want to ask another question?
Well,
Let me see what else you got here. Let
not
me
if
see.